Hey viewers, George here to do a first impression first video George talk video. So I've been playing a very intriguing game where all my deductive skills for puzzles and point and click adventures comes into play. Of course I'm talking about the recently released and probably quickly forgotten about game, Sherlock Holmes, or sorry, the Testament of Sherlock Holmes. It's Sherlock Holmes, whatever. I didn't know what to expect when I went to grab this game because if you can see, well, I don't know if the camera can see it, right there off in the corner you can see Atlas's nice little logo, and if you also look on the other side you get an M rating. So I was like, wow, Atlas is publishing a Sherlock Holmes game, because they didn't publish the last one. Which was Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper, which of course I've also played. So what else made this game really interesting? I had read somewhere that this game was actually made for consoles. It's not like they took one of those computer games, one of the Sherlock Holmes computer games that are there, and just put it right onto the consoles like they did with the Jack the Ripper one. This one was actually designed and created with the idea of consoles in mind. At least that's what I read. Nevertheless, though, it feels a lot like the Jack the Ripper one, except you can choose whether you want to play in first person or third person on the fly, which isn't really. I mean, third person is a little bit better. I mean, the game was more intended to play in third person, but first person's there. So essentially, what do you get from this game? For those of you who've never played one of the Sherlock Holmes games, it's basically a adventure game where it's a point and click sort of thing. So you move around within the space. You actually move around physically within the space, and you look around for clues and you solve things. You use this thing called a deduction board, where you line up all the clues that you've gathered and try and figure out the end result, so like murders or intents or motivations or what have you. And that's basically the game. As you go along, you're trying to figure out this bigger mystery. And it's really interesting because it just starts out with a small mystery about where Sherlock Holmes just finishes solving a case where these diamonds had gone missing, and also the person who stole them was never seen in the room, and it was within this locked room. So after you've solved that, case, which baffled me a little bit, after you solve that, you find out that the press, in the press they've said that the diamonds that Sherlock Holmes had found, and was also the last person to have them, are fake. So you got these fake jewels that are there, obviously are going to play a bigger role. I mean, fuck, obviously, because I keep hinting at it like Jesus Christ. But on top of that, you find out that someone that you're going to visit, a bishop or something like that, is brutally murdered, and that's basically the whole game. Is you're just trying to figure things out. At least that's how it seems to be. I've only completed like the first chapter of it. Or I should say complete like the first deduction board, because by the looks of it what they're doing is they separate each section of the game by deduction boards. So you're slowly, like, the first one you figure out the deduction board about like the intents or something like that, and then once you've completed that you go on to the next one or something. It's interesting, and it's being sort of retold by these kids who are reading a Sherlock Holmes story. Now, I might not know a whole lot about kids, about when these kids came to be, or what time period they are, what their knowledge in English is. Fuck, why am I yawning? It's like 7 in the afternoon. But I've read Sherlock Holmes books. There are words in there I'm pretty sure no young kid below like around 10 or 11 would be able to fucking pronounce, or even be able to fucking follow the plot. Like, I've read Sherlock Holmes books. I love Sherlock Holmes. And there's no way these kids could be fucking reading it and being like, oh, this is a great story, I'm so intrigued, it's a real adventure, it's better than pirates. Because that's basically what they're saying. They're fucking stupid kids. Yeah, I guess some of my complaints I have about the games, there's definitely technical issues with it, which I sort of expected, because there was, fuck. Oh my god, I have no idea why I'm doing that. So, yeah, like with the Jack the Ripper one, there was a few technical issues with the game that you sort of expect because of the way that the engine that they're using and whatnot is. And the same thing goes with this, so don't be going and expecting it to be like mind-blowing, bedazzling stuff that they have visually, because visually it's not all too impressive, I guess. I don't really know. But for those of you who don't know, I don't really care about visuals, but I mean, just as a note, it's there, and it might bug people a little bit. It's fun to make fun of. That's for sure. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention how they have the M rating on this game. I don't know why. Blood, gore, intense violence, use of drugs. Okay, I guess that's why. It's a little violent, but I mean, it's not like someone's going out of their way and, like, you see Sherlock Holmes ripping someone's guts out or something like that. Just you find really gruesome bodies. It's not that violent. Oh, and I guess, you know, Sherlock Holmes smokes tobacco out of his pipe or whatever. I guess that's a drug use. Why isn't that there for use of tobacco? They put anything on those. So yeah, I mean, if you're going into this expecting to be a fantastic game because Atlus's name's on it, like I was like, oh my god, a Sherlock Holmes game that Atlus published? This must be really good. Meh. It's not fantastic. It's not crap by all means. I mean, it's okay, really. It's a lot of fun. I mean, if you like these kind of games, if you like anything that like Telltale puts out, you'll probably like this game. If you like any of the other Sherlock Holmes games, you'll definitely like this one because it's basically the same thing. I mean, beyond that, it's a real... Fuck! It's dark! Oh god, why am I yawning? I hate that. But yeah. What's this? An all-new game engine lets you explore every inch of the elaborate sets, pieces, analyze... Okay, so apparently there's a new game engine that was used for this that wasn't used in the other one. Whatever, it fucking feels the same thing. And yeah, you get to play, obviously, as Sherlock Holmes, you get to play a little bit as Dr. Watson, whatever. So yeah, it's an okay game. It really is. It's actually hilarious. I went to go grab this game yesterday, which would have been yesterday. I think yesterday was the 25th or 26th. So I went to go get this game, and they're like, yeah, we only have the one copy. We didn't really think it's going to sell that well. Sort of like the last one. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. So try and go around grabbing, because actually, apparently what happened in the last one is it didn't sell too well, so they discontinued it. So you can really only find used copies of it. And there's a good chance it might happen to this one, only because not a lot of people really like Sherlock Holmes for some reason, I guess. I mean, why else wouldn't you grab a Sherlock Holmes game if you just don't like Sherlock Holmes? I certainly love Sherlock Holmes, that's why I grabbed the fucking games. So, yeah, The Testament of Sherlock Holmes just recently came out. It's on the Xbox, it's on the PlayStation 3, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere on the computer, or like the older version. I don't fucking know. And it's an okay game. If you like these kind of games, you'll definitely love this one. You'll love it. You'll love it like a bunch of nuts. If you love nuts, you'll love this one. I dropped the case. Okay, so until next time, keep on gaming.